We're going to start this example by using transformations to graph this function. And part of this example just involves knowing how to use the tools in MyMathLab to graph this function. So I'm going to begin by enlarging the graph. And there is a little bit more information here about choose the tool in the palette, follow the instructions, so forth and so on. So if I think back to my parent function over here, the parent is 3 raised to the x, or 3 exponent x, where the base is 3 and the exponent is x. The transformation that happens is x minus 2, and that transformation tells me to shift or translate or slide this entire function right 2 units. So I'm going to put all that information together over here in this graphing window. So I begin by selecting the type of function I want to use, which is the exponential function. So I'm selecting the exponential tool. And I do know that just any parent exponential function with no transformations will go through the point 0, 1. But I also want this function to go through points 1, 3, and notice it doesn't quite go through 1, 3, or 2, 9. Again, it doesn't do that, because that would be 3 raised to the first power is 3. 3 raised to the second power is 9. In other words, I'm thinking like of just specific points that I can plug into just the parent function. Now, how I account for that over here in my tools is I change the base from E to base 3. So a small change happened right here in my graph. And so now it's lining up with what I expected with an exponential function of base 3. It goes through points 0, 1, 1, 3, 2, 9, so forth and so on. Like as if I'm building a t-chart and I can just check that. The only transformation that this particular function has is that it is shifted right 2 units. And I know that because this operation minus 2 is happening with the x value, with the input value. So notice that it's in the exponent. So that tells me it's a horizontal change. So it's going to be a horizontal shift. And all horizontal shifts of like this, where it says minus 2, are actually to the right 2. So I'm going to account for that here, that horizontal shift is right 2 units. I'll save that work and then check. So I'll go ahead and answer the rest of these parts too. The domain of the exponential function is from negative infinity to positive infinity. But the range, notice the range is limited. It never has a negative value and it never becomes 0 because there is a horizontal asymptote here along the x-axis. So I want my range to say that it goes from 0 to infinity, and notice again it does not include 0, so I didn't use a square bracket there. And then the last step, what is the horizontal asymptote? Really, you needed to know that to answer the range question, but the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0.